Okay, for the assignment today, we are going to look at census data for 3 U.S. cities. So if you haven't already, print out this template, write your name at the top, and then think of 3 U.S. cities that you might like to live in as an adult. It could be Bradenton, Florida. It could be Mayaca. It also could be New York City, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. It could be a city in Wyoming or Dallas, Texas. Wherever you may consider moving as an adult. It also could be like a college town like Gainesville, Tallahassee, Tampa. Write those 3 cities right here. Then we are going to start looking at data for the cities. So the first thing we are asked to do is to put them in order from the largest city to the smallest based on population. To get that data and to get all the data for this worksheet, because there are more questions over here, we are going to go to census.gov, and I will show you that website. It is right here. Census.gov/quickfacts. And that's the website up there. It's also linked on Schoology, and this website right here allows you to build a chart so you can compare cities. So I might type in Tampa. Let's see, maybe Los Angeles. And maybe Dallas, Texas. Okay, and what it did is it built a chart that I can easily, that allows me to easily compare the data. So the first thing we're going to look at is population, which is that first top line. It has a population estimate for 2019. So looking at that population, it looks like Los Angeles is our largest city, Dallas, Texas is the second largest, and then Tampa follows behind. Then as I scroll through this, there is a lot of data here. Everything from median household income, how much houses are sold for, what the education level is, the health of the citizens, the economic factors, transportation, income and poverty, and then businesses, which is kind of interesting, how many women own businesses, minority owned businesses. So there's a lot of information here that we can look at, but the template actually guides us through specific things that it wants us to answer. So looking back at the template, you're going to fill in the cities here in order from largest to smallest along with the population that you found in the chart. And then moving over here, you're going to go through and answer the questions. The first one says, which city has the largest percentage of people age 5 and up who speak a language other than English at home? I know that sounds rather specific, but if you go back to the chart, there's actually, here, let me see if I can highlight it. This one says language other than English spoken at home. And the percent of persons age 5 years plus. So you'll look at this percentage and then determine, in this case, Los Angeles has the highest percentage. Okay, now going back to the template. Okay, so that's how it'll work. You'll go through each question. You'll answer it based on the data. Number 5, it asks you to analyze different parts of the data. Now, it doesn't tell you which data to specifically look at, but it does say, which city do you think has the greatest need for support services for low-income families? So for a question like this, you might look at the poverty level or the median household income, that kind of thing, to determine which of the cities needs more support services or the most support services. Which city appears to be the least racially diverse? Again, you can look at the demographics and kind of determine which one seems to be the least racially diverse. And most educated residents, there is a part on there that talks about level of education, what percent of residents have high school diplomas or bachelor's degrees, and you can look at that to determine that. Okay, then looking at the back, part 2 is for the following day, which would be Wednesday. For Wednesday, you would narrow it down to 2 cities. Your top 2 would be written right here. Maybe I will do Tampa and Gainesville. So you'd write them there, and then you can choose how you'd like to compare them. Let's say you want to look at housing and the cost of rent. You would look back at the chart. If I go back to the table here, and I look at housing, it says median gross rent, and I can compare those rent prices. And I would write down the rent for the two cities I'm comparing, and then choose a winner. So over here, I would write down the rent for those two cities and then choose a winner. And I would do that for each box. Just choose a new way to compare them. Then over here, the last part, you're going to write a paragraph about the city that you are choosing as your favorite. So based on this data, choose your favorite city, then write a paragraph on why that city is your favorite. If you are quarantined, just send me your completed work in a Schoology message. If you're not quarantined and you're returning back to class, you can also turn it into the basket here in class. So have a good one. Bye, guys.